everybody, welcome to my learning lab. Okay, today we are still talking about angles. This is the fifth lesson, so I decided to conclude angles and give you guys some review questions. So in total, there are 5 questions, and the last question, which is question 5, is a bonus question. So be ready. Okay, so now for the first question, you can just pause the video and find it out yourself. This question is quite easy. Alright, so I assume that you are done. Alright, this question, like I said just now, is very easy. Okay, so I'm going to go through. So these kind of angles are called supplementary angles. Supplementary. Oops, there shouldn't be a gap there, just ignore the gap. Alright, supplementary angle. Alright. Oops, ignore the words. So assume my line is straight. Alright, I said that many times during our last few videos. Alright, so this one straight line 180 degrees. So if this is 40 degrees, x is just 180 degrees minus 40 degrees. Equals 140 degrees. And so that's our answer. Quite easy, right? Okay, on to the next question. Okay, so in the next 2 questions, I'm going to put them together. Alright, so you can pause the video and find out the answer for these 2 questions. Alright, so I again assume that you are done. Alright, so let's go through question 2 first. So this kind of question, this x, like 2 intersecting lines, is called vertical or opposite angles. Vertical angles, we can call it. Opposite angles also can. So I'm just gonna say is vertical angle. Alright, vertical angle. Write it here. Alright, so let's go through now. So this is a vertical angle, so these 2 angles are mirror images. So you can just copy the 89 here, paste it here. So y just equals to 89 degrees. Easy, huh? Okay, off to question 3. So this is a question like you need your eyesight, your eyesight needs to be very good. Okay, so there's a trick in doing this question. There are actually 2 methods in doing these kinds of questions. Okay, so this is a rectangle. Alright, and a rectangle have 4 right angles, right? Alright, so a rectangle have 4 right angles. Okay, so I'm going through the question in one of the ways. So one of the easier ways is this. Okay, so there's something you need to see if you want to do this question in the easy way. Can you see this z over here? Okay, this is the trick I taught you in lesson 2. If you don't know, you can go back to my lesson 2 and then you can see out. Alright, I talk about this in lesson 2. Okay, so there's a z here, so this angle, which is 30 degrees, you can just, because this angle equals to this angle, so you can copy this 30 degrees and just paste it here. So z just equals to 30 degrees. Okay, on for the next method. Alright, this is the first one. So that's a second method. Alright, you can just use the silly way just to find out. So this is a 90 degrees. So I taught you last lesson that a triangle the three angles in the triangle adds up to 180 degrees. So you know this is 90 degrees, you know this 30 degrees. So it's just 180 degrees minus 90 degrees bracket plus 30. So this is 120 degrees. So 60 degrees. So this angle over here is 60 degrees. So this is a right angle over here, which means it's 90 degrees. So just to find z, you just need to know a right angle minus 60 equals to z. So it's 90 degrees minus 60 equals to 30 degrees. This method also works, but it's a quite silly way. Alright, so you can just check that these two answers are the same. And we are correct. So off to question 4. Oh, this question 5 down here, but just ignore it. Alright, you can just pause the video and find out on your own. Okay, I assume you are done. Alright, so let's go through the question. So this is also a trick that I taught you in Angles 2. That means my second lesson of angles. You can find it out if you don't know. Alright, I've taught about it in Angles lesson 2. Alright, so this is the same trick as the question above. This. If you can see the trick, the z over here or here, on the other hand, is another letter, I can call it. Alright, so if you can see the letters, you will know what angle is W. Alright. Okay, so this is an F, I will call it F. Alright, it's a trick in solving angle questions. Alright, so these two angles are the same. If you draw an F here, and as I label here, these two straight lines are parallel. So it means that this angle equals to this angle. So W just equals to 70 degrees. And that's our answer. Okay, are you ready for the bonus question? Okay, off to the bonus question. Okay, this question. This may seem a bit messy. So this is an ugly shape, alright? I taught you in the last lesson. It might be a bit too ugly, but yeah, you can just pause the video and solve it first. Alright, so I assume that you are done. Alright, so actually, there's something that is useless here. The useless part is the right angle here. Alright, the useless bit is the right angle here. You do not need the right angles to solve the questions, I tell you. But there are two methods. One is the silly way and one is the smart way. The silly way need to use the right angle, but in the smart way, you just can ignore the two right angles. Alright, so let's start with the first method, which is the smart method. Alright, let's go. So this is two intersecting lines. Ignore the Chinese words, please. Alright, see that? So you can just copy this over here. So this part is 50 degrees. As I said earlier in this video, three triangles, the three angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So, which means this angle over here, okay, I just pull the angle out, alright, equals to 180 degrees minus bracket 50 plus 30 equals to is 80 degrees. So it's 100 degrees over here. Okay, so you need another eyesight very good. I mean, you need another eyesight that is very good in seeing this part, because there's another trick that's here, alright, which is here, this part. Do you see the F over here? These two lines are parallels. Sorry, I forgot to label them. Okay, parallel, so that means this angle equals to angle A. So angle A literally just equals to 100 degrees. And so that's our answer. So that's a silly way. So there's a silly way in doing this question. This is the first method, which is the smart way. You use the mirror image thing, vertical or opposite angle way to solve it, and the F way. Alright. So the silly way is, this is a rectangle. That means there are 4 right angles. So you know that this 50, and you know that this is 50, this is 90 degrees. So you know what this angle is. So this angle equals to 180 minus bracket 90 degrees plus 50 degrees, which is equals to, this is 140 degrees. So this part is 40 degrees. So you know that this is 90 degrees, right? So you want to know what's this. So this is 90 degrees minus 40 degrees equals to 50 degrees. Okay, you also can use the Z method over here. So you just can copy the 550 over here. Also, that goes our 50 here. Alright. So you know that this 90 degrees, and this 50 degrees. So you need to find out what this is. Alright, you need to find out what this is. So, actually, I've told you in my angles 4 that a 4-sided shape adds up, the 4 angles add up to 360 degrees. If you do not know how this is solved, you can just go back to angles 4. I thought about that in angles 4, alright, at the last part. You can find out that, alright, yourself. But now, I'm not going to waste our time to like teach that part again, alright. So 4 angles add up to 360 degrees. So (360) minus 290 degrees equals to 180 degrees minus 50 degrees equals to this. You can just put a bracket here. This is 230 degrees. This is 130 degrees. So now you know that this part over here is, oopsies, sorry for that, guys. So these are 130 degrees here. Also, you can find, you do not need to like do these 1, 2, 3 steps. You can also just do this. is a straight line. So 180 degrees minus 50 degrees equals to 130 degrees, which is here. Okay, so you know that 130 degrees, this is 130 degrees. So you can find out that actually this is 50 degrees. This is a straight line, right? So 180 degrees minus 130 degrees. I will just write it down, alright? (180 degrees minus 130 degrees equals to 50 degrees. Alright. So you know that this is 50 degrees. So you can solve that this is actually 100 degrees because of the F over here. There's no other trick you can solve here because I haven't given you enough information about this part. There's only 2. Alright, so the Z and the F are really important when there's not enough information. You can make information yourself. So this 100 degrees, so that means this is 100 degrees. So you can do this. Wait, I'll just write the method down. Alright, so this is 50 degrees. (180 degrees minus 50 degrees plus 30 degrees bracket, alright, equals to 100 degrees. So A just literally equals to 100 degrees. So that's our answer. Well, you can check that these two are the same. And we are correct. And so we are done. Alright guys, if you understand, that's good. If you don't understand, you can replay this lesson because this question is quite confusing. There are many steps, especially for the second method. Alright, so